Hello and welcome to Boomer Live. Today we are here to talk about transfer news yet again. And I have Anahat with me joining. Last time around we did discuss about some crucial transfers. Yeah, of course, we are into July now and some teams have made their moves. And they've signed some big stars, of course, on the money. And there are some big transfer rumors as well. Welcome Anahat on the show. I hope you're doing very good.
Yes, definitely. I mean, so much speculation. Not so much as a United fan, but as a neutral, I'm doing very well. I see United haven't made any transfers so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the other teams, Premier League teams like Tottenham, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, doing really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely when you talk about United, the first name which comes into the name comes into your mind is Ronaldo. We'll be talking about him later on the show, but first up, let's talk about the biggest transfer rumor. Right, it is Neymar who made one of the biggest moves to Paris in 2017. Is rumored to be transferred to Chelsea. Chelsea are definitely hunting in the market pretty well. They're looking for some big names. And definitely, Neymar is right on top of the list. And Todd Bowley, in under his tenure, he wants this to be one of the marquee signings. Anahat, what do you reckon about this particular signing? Because Neymar in PSG doesn't seem to be settling too well. Even last season, you saw him that he wanted to make a move to the former club of his, which is Barcelona. He was trying his best, but definitely Barcelona couldn't afford him at that stage. And right now, he definitely is looking for a new challenge as well in the Premier League, isn't it?
Yes, I think Neymar, he's the main man. Wherever he goes, he wants to be the main man. I think he left Barcelona because he wanted to be a main man at PSG. But shortly after, you had Mbappe, and now you have Messi. So there's a lot of spotlight taken away from Neymar, and I think he thrives, in the spotlight. So I think it would be fair to say if Neymar has to move away now from PSG. I mean, he's served them well over the years, tallying up goals and assists every season. He's been ruling the Liga now. And now you see Mbappe doing the same. So I think Neymar is ready for a new challenge towards, as he enters his 30s now.
Absolutely, absolutely, and definitely Neymar will be looking to play under Tuchel. He had a decent tenure under Tuchel when he was the coach of Paris Saint Germain 2 seasons ago, and definitely Tuchel understands Neymar's game pretty well as well. So a move to Chelsea won't be that bad for Neymar. But let's talk about the done deal of the day. Let's talk about a player who has made a move from Etihad to Emirates. I'm not talking about the two flights here. It's from Manchester City to Arsenal. It is Gabriel Jesus. Definitely, finally has found a decent club. Of course, he was playing with the champions of England, but now he'll be in a more stronger position that he will be one of the marquee mans up front, isn't it?
Definitely. I think again, this is another move, to get into the spotlight. I mean, Gabriel Jesus will definitely get a lot of game time at Arsenal more than he was getting at City. He'll be one of the front runners in Arteta's squad. And I think one drawback is that he won't be able to play Champions League football, Gabriel Jesus. But I
Yeah,
think regardless, a move to Arsenal, a move to Arsenal is big. Still, Arsenal, one of the better clubs. They started last season quite
yeah.
on a weaker note, but they finished it strongly, even though they weren't able to get through to the Champions League. I think it
Right.
was, the way they started the season. I mean, it was a good end for them. So I think, yeah. So
Absolutely.
it'll be interesting to see what Gabriel Jesus does now under Arteta and how he fits into that squad.
Truly, and that's going to be a very interesting move as well because with Gabriel Jesus, he'll be now one of the marquee mans, and his positioning was always a question in City. He was never playing up front. He was always on the wings. He was playing as an attacking midfielder at times. So now finally he'll be getting to play as a number 9 role for Arsenal, and he'll be having good support system in the back as well with the likes of Emil Smith Rowe, Odegaard. And they've got Vieira is a new signing for them from Porto as well. So he's another exciting talent to talk about. I'm just covering him on
Another
brief.
midfielder, Vieira. Let's see if he's half as good as the previous Vieira, Arsenal will be very happy.
Definitely. I hope Arsenal aren't going behind the names to fill up, and they're definitely going behind the talent. Let's talk about another major signing which has happened through the course of the week. It is Calvin Phillips, the local boy from Leeds, has moved on to Manchester City. Of course, everybody wanted Calvin Phillips to play at a bigger club, and for Calvin Phillips, Leeds and him has been a very long, relationship. He started his professional footballing career with Leeds. He renewed his contract a couple of seasons ago when they came to the Premiership as well. Now he has moved to Manchester City looking for some Champions League football. And with Manchester City, he's definitely not going to be your number one starter, isn't he? He's a backup and he's going to be a replacement for Fernandinho.
Yeah, but I think eventually he will be the main center defensive midfielder. I think we saw him at the World Cup. Calvin Phillips, he was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
to England's run in the sorry, in the Euros.
Yeah.
He was absolutely instrumental in England's run to the final. So it'll be interesting to see how he does at City. I think it's a big slap in the face of Man United. As you know, they've been behind him for the last season and a half. But then again, now City is the stronger of the two Manchester clubs, and
Yeah.
going from rivals Leeds United. I mean, the rivalry between Leeds and Man United is so age old. So it would have been. Uh, he would have faced quite a bit of criticism from fans back in Leeds. But I think Manchester City is a good move for Calvin Phillips, and of course the way football is right now, it's the bigger of the two Manchester clubs, as we said. So
True.
good
And
move for Calvin Phillips.
we talk about loyalties. I believe in the modern football, if you are a professional footballer, you have a very small period of time to make success in Europe, and he would want to make success in Europe by playing in a strong City team who has actually been doing pretty well as well. So that's a decent move. I like that move because Calvin Phillips coming to City, because being a City fan, of course, I'm very excited about that. But not just that, I'm genuinely excited for Calvin Phillips. Let's talk about another player, but before that, we've got a question on the similar lanes as well. We got a question which says, "How are Barca able to afford so many players with the financial situation?" Um, Interesting. Anand, you want
I
to take that?
mean, who knows about this? I mean, who knows what happens behind closed doors? I mean, what happens in the board meet, where the money comes from. I think they've been loaning out the stadium for weddings. I think that's where the money comes from.
But let me just make one thing clear to you, Mr. Michael. I think that's your name. So, Michael, from what I know about salary cap and wage bills, is the salary cap is something which is decided by La Liga based on your previous year's income, expected income, and the revenue you are supposed to generate with all the things what you've generated through the course of the season. And you'll be getting 25% of that to spend on your transfers. So, it's a very tough formula to understand. It's tougher than your math formulas for sure with La Liga, what they've said, because in UK and other
That's how
European.
City have been getting away with it for all these years.
No, for in English football, it's pretty simple. It's based on your previous year's thing. It's your previous year's income and whatever you generate, that's your salary cap. But in La Liga, it's your previous year's income, your future income, and the revenue through marketing sales. So from that, the 25% is what you can spend. And Barcelona haven't been doing well at all since Messi's departure in terms of the market value, in terms of the shirt sales, and now weddings are their last resort, as Anand rightly pointed out. Weddings and your tour on Camp Nou. And I also know they're doing YouTube streams where people are contributing through Super Chat. So that's another way of getting revenue as well. Let's talk about another signing who has come to Barcelona. Uh, Anahad, what do you reckon about this? Because I already pulled out Andre Christensen on the screen, but let's talk about this one because he has come from a winning team, AC Milan. They won the Serie A after a good decade, and he was an instrumental part of it. He's got a very good XG of 4.69, a strong defensive midfielder, someone who Barca really lacks in some pressure
Absolutely.
games, who can actually absorb the pressure, who can control the game. He's not probably the best ball progressor, as one would say, but he's got that physicality to play that proper CDM role. Anand, how do you see this move?
Yes, I think he's very fast in the midfield. He's always looking around him. He knows how to scan the pitch really well. I think he's a great midfielder, and as you see, midfielders are key to the success over a season. Begging, I mean, taking the ball from their teammates and forwarding it to the attackers. I think it's really important, and Kessie does it very well. He's also good with interceptions, and he doesn't
Right.
let other midfielders breathe on the ball for too long. He's always on their backs. So I think he'll definitely do well in Barcelona, and he'll be on a bigger stage as well uh, next season.
Absolutely, and Barcelona is going to be a decent club for him because Champions League football is short. Even with AC Milan, it was. But in Barcelona, I'm not sure if he's going to be a sure starter. But under Xavi, a lot of players are looking to start a new what do I say, a new project under him because everything seems very good so far. But you never know with Barcelona and the financial situation, anything can happen to them. Let's talk about another player who has made the move to Barcelona as well. It is Andre Christensen, a big move indeed. He's had a great record with Chelsea. He's been a player who was stuck with Chelsea for the longest period of time. He's seen the success, he's seen the lows with Chelsea, and he had a very good run in the Euros as well. How do you see this move happening, and how do you see that? Will Christensen be that player who's going to resolve most of the Barca's conundrum in defense, because in defense they do lack a lot of potency when it comes to defensive transitions, and they don't have the pace. PK is growing old. You have Eric Garcia, who's highly
Right.
inexperienced, very good with the ball, but defensively he lacks experience. With Arauco, you
No,
reckon Christensen can be a good partnership?
definitely. I think Christensen will do well at Barcelona. What remains to be seen is how Chelsea will do without Rudiger and Christensen. Now they've sold their two good centre backs, to two of the big clubs in Spain. That's Madrid and Barcelona. So it remains to be seen. I think Christensen is more suited for the Spanish game than he is
Yeah.
for the Premier League game. So I think Christensen will definitely do well. Um, under Xavi, as you said, he's building a team, and I think Christensen now is quite a senior player, having played
Yeah.
many years in the Premier League.
We've got a question from Timoy Bakayoko. I hope he's. I just hope you are the real player. But who should Chelsea sign? Anahat, what do you reckon? As you just mentioned about the defensive issues are a clear one.
I
I'm
hope they
primarily.
sign Harry Maguire from United.
No, not a
No,
bad.
seriously. No, on a
Transfer
serious note, I
point.
think Soyuncu, I think he's a good buy. He's a good established defender in the Premier League. I think even Mings, or no, I think Matthias Delete is on his way to Bayern Munich from
Yep,
Juventus. At least
yep.
that's what the
It's
talk
almost
is.
confirmed.
But it's
I mean, it's
it remains
funny
to be seen.
how
So
Matthias Delete, a boy who's born in Netherlands, says that my childhood club was Bayern Munich. That's the most bit of nonsense I could ever hear. And nowadays, Gabriel Jesus goes to Etihad, Emirates, and says that my favorite team was Arsenal. It's been a thing with all the players these days, right? They want to play for a club and they make this intention very clear that please sign me. So they say their favorite boyhood club was that particular club. So I feel that's utter nonsense from Matthias Delete. But yeah, with Bayern Munich, I think that's going to be interesting. Let's talk about Matthias Delete to Bayern Munich, right? On brief. How do you see that transfer happening? And how much is that going to enforce Bayern's defense as well? Because Bayern Munich with Lucas Hernandez, and now with Matthias Delete possibly joining them, and up front they've got Sadio Mane. Looks like a potent attack.
definitely, I don't think they really found a replacement for Alaba. Really, I think that's going to be that replacement for Alaba. That Bayern, since selling him to Madrid, I don't think they've got any such big signing in defense. But as you see, Matthias De Ligt, really really young, really really strong, big centre back. Passes the ball, can dribble with it as well. So I think it's a definitely a good signing, one of the top signings. Otherwise, we won't be talking about it today. So yeah, definitely, I think Matthias De Ligt can make his move.
Absolutely. Jen has a good point over there. When you see the green and when you see the money, the boyhood club changes, and that's been the case, as we rightly mentioned. Right.
Nice one, really really nice.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about another player who has made a move from Liverpool to AS Monaco. It is Minamino. He's had a decent stint with Liverpool. He was a super sub for them in many of the occasions. Now, for him in Monaco, you expect him to start most of the games. And French league is not as intense as Premier League. He had a very good stint with Salzburg for sure. That's when Jurgen Klopp was very impressed of him and got him to Liverpool. But now he's making a move to AS Monaco. How do you see this? And do you reckon Liverpool should have possibly stuck on to him, because now with no Sadio
No,
Mane, the squad
no,
depth could have been an issue, right?
definitely not. I think Liverpool have done some fantastic transfer business right there. I think they got him for quite cheap, and they've sold him almost for thrice the price. So I think
Right.
it's a good sale. Takumi Minamino. Now I don't know how well he'll do in the farm. I mean, sorry, not Farmers League. I mean, Liga. But
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure he'll do well because he scored some good goals off the bench in the Premier League. He wasn't as successful as Klopp's other signings. If you see, Klopp has just been a genius in the market. I mean, every signing he's made, you see Fabinho, I mean,
Yeah.
just Thiago, like, all of them, Mane, Salah, it's all Klopp's team. So I think a good decision by Klopp to sell him off.
I mean, not bad actually, because with Minamino, you always thought this guy had potential to have success anywhere in Europe, and he's got that pace and he's got that ability to understand the game so well, and that's a very rare quality to have in a player. Once you have that, you can have success anywhere in Europe, and that's why I feel this move is going to actually enforce him a lot more. If he can make Monaco qualify for the Champions League next season, and possibly help them to a domestic success at least, that's going to be a
Sure.
great move. And let's talk about Liverpool right now with Sadio Mane. How do you see them without Sadio Mane? Now you have a Luis Diaz who has actually filled in his boots pretty well. Now look with Darwin Nunes. How do you see Liverpool progressing into the next season? Are you still considering to be one of the favorite Champions League finalists? Of course, can they continue that momentum?
Definitely, I think Klopp, he'll definitely find a replacement. There's a lot of time for the transfer market to get over still. Liverpool definitely will make signings. I'm sure about that, and they will be able to replace Mane. I'm glad, even Mane has moved on to Bayern Munich. It will make the Premier League tougher. I think it's a setback for Liverpool finally losing one of their
Yeah,
top wingers and one of the top. Yeah, that remains to be seen, Jaren. We'll have to see how well Darwin Nunes does. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I personally, have my doubts about Darwin Nunes' comparison with Haaland. I don't think he's in that league at all. I don't think he's in the Haaland league. It's just because Liverpool and City have been rivals. They've been comparing him to Haaland, but I don't think personally that Darwin Nunes is nearly as good as Haaland. And
yeah.
so it
I
remains to
mean,
be seen if
one thing is for
he can.
sure, Liverpool have scouted him pretty well, and he's a serial presser because his pressing ability as a striker is very good, and that's what Liverpool exactly needs. And if you talk about Liverpool's formula and transfer market, it's very simple. It's the Moneyball formula with Michael Edwards at the helm. They look at the analytics so deep, and they sign these players who you really will think will not succeed, and they just make them into these great giants. Like the likes of Van Dijk, Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah. So it's the thing with Liverpool and with FSD Group also. Putting a lot of money into the analytics system. They're very good at spending less and actually getting the best out of players. But with Darwin Nunes, it was just the opposite. They have had enough analytics on him in terms of the kind of ability he's got and with the kind of structure he's got, and he fits into the system pretty well as well. But they've spent quite a lot on him. It's one of the biggest transfers in a very long time, and that's why expectations are going to be on him. And if he feels there are going to be definite questions asked upon as well, isn't it, Anand?
Yeah, you're right. And I think other transfers as well. Some of the transfer. I think it's a great season for Premier League. Another year of big names joining from rest of the European countries into the Premier League. So yeah, I think we should move forward and check out the next transfer now.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the big one, the big transfer rumor, which has actually been going all around. It is Cristiano Ronaldo. We're not sure which club is he going to end up to, but he has made his intentions very clear. He has told Jorge Mendes that he wants to make a move. He wants to make a move to any club which is possibly ready to accept him. Bayern Munich is there in the race. Chelsea are there in the race. And more importantly, is it going to be even Barcelona, because they have offered him to Barcelona as well? So I don't think that's going to happen. Let's make it very clear, because if that happens, it's going to be Luis Figo Part Two, and maybe for Barcelona fans, it'll be a possible settling of scores. A number seven player, wearing number seven from Portugal, who left them to Real Madrid, and a Real Madrid legend coming back to Barcelona. So it's going to be possible settling of scores. But then, where do you see Cristiano Ronaldo ending up? Because I know it's your club, and do you think that Ronaldo should make a move now?
I think Bayern. I would think Bayern because I don't think he'll go to Chelsea after the history he's had with Chelsea and United and Chelsea rivalry and United fans not wanting him to go to Chelsea and even Barcelona, as you said, it's highly unlikely. But I think Bayern, on the other hand, is a good fit for Ronaldo. I mean, they Lewandowski reportedly is moving to Barcelona, so he could fill in there, and definitely not, Jen. I think it's been made very clear by PSG that they won't be signing Cristiano Ronaldo because CR7 and Messi. I mean, yeah, it would be a utopian scenario, but I don't think that can happen, especially at PSG. I think Ronaldo will definitely join some club which is into Champions League football, and it's a big ask for Man United now. How they try to diffuse this situation. If they want to keep him, they need to, like Gary Neville said, they need to deal with it swiftly. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure there must be a lot of pressure from Ronaldo and his camp. I mean, the kind of player he is, he can just transform the club. Any club he joins, he'll transform the club. He'll get them to the to the top of the world stage just by being in the club, just by playing, every week. So I think it remains to be seen where Ronaldo will go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, for
that's a very
Champions League
interesting one.
football, he just might go to Sporting. Who knows? We, we
Yeah.
we can't say for sure, but it's very exciting. And I think United, the best they can do is if they have to sell him, then sell him right away because they got him for free. So in the end, it will be a benefit for them. Also they've sold a lot of jerseys now. So I
Yeah.
think financially it would make sense to sell him off
I mean,
rather than
you're
keep
right,
him for another year.
because for United, no, they have nothing to lose, and they're looking at a new project. They're
Right.
looking at a new era of football. They're looking at new set of players. If CR7 goes or he doesn't go, it's always going to be the same
It's
thing
also
for
a
them. And
big, it's also a big dollar amount off the wage bill.
yeah,
So I think
definitely.
even that United would be thinking in those terms, and they should deal with it quickly. They can get another player.
Yeah,
Potentially if Ronaldo even goes for 60 to 70 million, they can get a world class young player. In that amount. So the way the transfer market is right now, so I
and
think
absolutely.
United uh, do need the signings, and I think Ronaldo will help United because I'm sure he won't extend his contract. So leaving for free next season won't really make sense for Man United.
Yeah,
So I
and
think,
not just that, any
yeah,
club who's going to take Ronaldo is going to do financially well because the market price are going to shoot
definitely.
up, shirt sizes are going to go up, and whatever cost you're going to pay him, you're going to actually receive in maybe
And
a week
Sporting
or
would actually be like a fairy tale. I really interesting what Tammy just mentioned here. I think it's really interesting. If he does go back to Sporting, I think
yeah.
it'll be like a whole circle completed.
And yeah, and that's what every Portuguese fan is going to look at. How much Ronaldo's family are inclined towards sporting. We've seen often that Ronaldo's mother coming out in public and supporting Sporting. Ronaldo himself supports Sporting in Portugal. That is his boyhood club. And of course, with Ronaldo, you can say that's his boyhood club, and he doesn't want to change that. So it'll be nice if Ronaldo goes back to his boyhood club and actually ends his career there. And he's got really 2 good years of football left, but having seen Ronaldo, he wants to have success in Champions League once more, and that's why he's looking at one of the top flight clubs in Europe. And Bayern Munich is highly likely alongside Chelsea as well. And you never know, to be out of the box with Barcelona. So this situation is very interesting. And having said that, Anna, it was wonderful talking to you regarding all the transfers. We had a decent session, and we had a lot of questions today. So we will
Absolutely.
take a
No,
lot of
can't
them.
wait.
Thank you.
We will really can't wait for the Premier League to start now next month and to play every day on Boomer 11. We're going to have some great matches and great prizes on the Boomer
Yeah,
11 app. So really excited for that, for the Premier League to start, for the big matches, and even all Europe's top five leagues. Now
absolutely
even right now we have some cricketing action going on the app.
right.
Really exciting. India versus England. So yeah, looking forward to everything.
True. And guys, whoever have joined us, so subscribe to our channel right now, click the bell icon. And also, the link is in the bio to download our app. So, download our app because you'll get some sign up bonus and alongside that, some exciting rewards. Play our contest for absolutely free, of course. So, zero financial risk. And of course, you have a lot of things to earn. And as transfer business, what we talk about, this is going to be a really good business for you people. Just play for free and earn a lot of things. So make sure you don't miss out on the chance. And we're going to be giving you some really good experience through the course of this as well. Because this year is all about all the biggest sporting actions from T20 World Cup, the biggest of the show. It is the Football World Cup, which is also lined up, and the Premier League, of course, which is going to start in a month's time alongside all the other leagues. So get ready for that with Boom 11 because all the sporting action is going to be very special with Boom 11. Thank you and have a good time. Thank you, Anand, for joining again.
Good day. Well, see you soon.